I'm going to make a little drawing again of a picture that I found on Pixabay of a girl. And first I'm going to put some lines on the paper, sort of first draft before I do anything else. Trying to indicate where everything should be on the paper. Accentuating immediately the eye there, some tonal values, the eyebrow. So I just want to have a simple outline to work upon, to work from, and after that I can immediately add some hatchings and accentuations, and gradually I will refine what I've already put on the paper. You know, the outlines get refined later on. Here in a sort of shadow, tonal value on the cheek. And as you can see on the left, I have a paper to rest my hand on, because if I don't do that, chances are that I get some graphite on my hand and I leave marks, unintended on the paper, and that's not what I want. So that's just to avoid that. I just take a piece of printer paper and I fold it in two. Adding a bit of the hair there. And there as well. Zooming out a little bit. I want to give you a little bit of oversight, a clear image of what I'm doing there. And if you look at some of my recent drawings, I used tracing, and in this drawing I don't use tracing, and the results are a bit different. Those which I trace and which are on a smaller scale, I can work more refined there. And in this case, I feel more free to add all kinds of hatchings, and the way of drawing is a bit different. So it's interesting to compare the two styles, and maybe I'll make a video to show the difference of the two methods of working and the results that it brings. Working on the eyebrow a bit and accentuating the hair. And now it's time to add some dark values where the hair is. And by adding darker values which are bordering on the face, you can see that the face is in contrast with the hair, so it looks lighter compared to the background that is being darkened over there. So it gives more a sense of space, I think. You get the feeling that that face all of a sudden is more three-dimensional, I think, because it comes forward a bit compared to the black or the dark gray areas that I'm drawing now. I think I'm using a 2B pencil, a mechanical pencil. I'm not totally sure, but I think so. And sometimes I think I'm working with an HB pencil, but it turns out to be some of those HB pencils are softer than others, and so on. When you are trying to make these kind of drawings, I would experiment a little bit. I think I'm using a 2B now here, but you could use a B or an HB as well. In some, it's also dependent on the kind of paper that you're using. So I would experiment a little bit to see what suits you best, what makes you feel right about this, what feels right, I mean to say. And this is a real-time drawing. I made this in 15 minutes, so I didn't really feel like speeding it up to 10 minutes. So this is the real time with narration. And yeah. I'm waiting now for my own hand to emerge. Oh yeah, there I am again. I am giving a narration afterwards. So sometimes I'm waiting for myself to start drawing again. If I made a little pause there, the eyelashes accentuated a little bit, and I don't really use lines, but accentuations and dots and so on. So it has to be part of certain structure of drawing. And I want this drawing to be, to have a certain dynamic. I really like the way the hair gives it a certain kind of movement, almost movement, a certain interesting form. Maybe that's a better way of expressing it. And here I'm working on making the background formed by the hairs a little darker again. Working on the tonal values in the face as well. Adding accentuations here and there. And I'm working on the neck now, or the area below her jaw. it needs some more tonal value there. Needs to darken a bit. And I'm going all over the face to add tonal values now in the cheek. And I'm always looking at relations between the different parts. So what is the lightest area, what is a little bit darker, or slightly darker, or a lot darker. And it gives a certain rest in the drawing to have a certain build-up towards the highest light in a certain area. So where in the skin is the skin at lightest, you know? That's what you need to find out and make everything else a little subordinate to that, a little darker. Adding some detail, some accentuations there in the eye. And when you are searching for a source photograph or you make a source photograph, it's always good to find a photograph with good division between light and dark. I'm not sure if this is the most perfect photograph that I took now, but it works out fine, I think. But when you look at, by the way, I think that the reflection on her jaw on the left is quite interesting. So I like this picture in that respect. But it's always good to look for shadows in the faces that you draw, so you have the opportunity to use light and dark well to define a face, because you only have light and dark in this kind of drawing. Here I'm adding some horizontal lines to get a certain background. I wanted to have some sort of contrast with the lines in the face, so I thought I put quite a regular or even background there. I was thinking maybe I should have kept it white, but later on I actually liked it. And here I'm adding some accentuations, and I put them in a too regular way, those accentuations, so I try to break that regularity. Is that a word? I didn't want to have a too regular pattern there in those accentuations on the right that I just put there over those horizontal lines, so I try to make it a little more diverse in that respect, or break the pattern, so to speak. Now I'm working a little bit on her face. and adding some accentuations here and there. And sometimes towards the end you're wondering, what should I do now? And then it's time to think about stopping working on such a drawing, because you can go too far, you can take it too long before you finish it. That's also a possibility. Working on the nose a little bit. Ah, it needed that. I was looking at that cheek, so I'm looking at my own drawing, but I'm glad I worked on that a little bit. And there it is. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe if you like these kind of videos. Thank you very much.